Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Med. Here we keep updates on Medbeds. Today I want to talk about a scam going on regarding Medbeds, and it's really important that I talk about this because a lot of people are getting scammed. A lot of people are losing a lot of money, up to $1,000 at a time, and all these people are essentially losing their money because they're desperate to get on some kind of list at a Medbed center. And there's YouTubers out there who are completely taking advantage of these people's desperation. So today, I'm going to be talking about the scam involving social media platforms and Telegram. And Telegram really is where the scam actually takes place. But people are brought in from other platforms, essentially. Innocent people looking for information on Medbeds. But Telegram really, from what I'm hearing, is where the scamming actually takes place. So let me help you understand, because I don't want you to lose your money either, to these people, how this scam works. Now, this unfortunately involves, let me just kind of go back a second here. What's happening is there are people on YouTube who spend all their time on their channels talking about Medbeds. All the time, because they've been talking about Medbeds for 4 or 5 years. Their whole channels are based on Medbeds. Now, you could get out all the information about Medbeds in probably half an hour. I thought I could tell you everything about Medbeds. There's not much to say about them in half an hour. These people have made a full-time living out of just talking on and on and on about Medbeds for 5 years now, some of these people. These people look very plausible, they look very sweet and lovely. They're not, they're scammers. And what they do is they just talk. They kind of bring in some stories about their personal life as well. And before you know it, you see them as some kind of trustworthy friend. And you're tuning in not to get information about Medbeds, but actually because you quite enjoy listening to the person, if that makes sense. And you've forgotten that actually they're supposed to be supplying information about Medbeds, which they do sometimes. They keep regurgitating the same old information, but you kind of forget about that because they kind of become a friend to you, if that makes sense. And this is what is happening. A lot of people are feeling, they get this feeling of resonance with these YouTubers, these scammer YouTubers. And there's only a couple. And I'm not going to name any names. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to tell you what's going on, and you have to use your discernment to work out whether other channels who are talking about this kind of fit this pattern, this description, so you can identify if they are scamming you or not. Okay, it's very important that we talk about this. So what these people will do is they will get your trust, and they will just start talking about Medbeds all the time, and they will put themselves up as the authority on Medbeds. They will claim that they're in contact with organisations such as the Earth Alliance, for example, and they will come out with all these stories about all their amazing experiences, and it's total BS. The whole thing is BS. These are scammers. But what they will do, this is where the trick is, and most people will miss this trick. They don't understand how this works because they don't realise that behind the YouTuber there's a gang there as well. And that gang is doing all the electronic work to make the scam work. But you don't see the gang, you just see the YouTuber in front with the camera on them, talking nicely about Medbeds and answering all the same old questions over and over again about Medbeds. So what happens is this: the YouTuber, the scammer, will have a Telegram channel. This is where the scam happens. And what they will do is they will tell you to go and sign up to their Telegram channel. And they will create more than one Telegram channel or group. Various different names as well, to make sure they've got lots of different groups, all under that kind of their kind of name. So whenever you search for a similar group, you'll be sure to kind of enter one of their groups as well. So they control all of them. But they'll also give you their direct channel to make sure you go to that particular channel. Okay. Now, once you are in a Telegram channel, a Telegram group, unless you adjust your settings, which most people don't, the channel owner who is the same person who owns the YouTube channel, can see and can contact directly all the thousands of people who have signed up to that Telegram group, who have joined that Telegram group. And every single person on that in that Telegram group essentially have put their hand up to say, I'm interested in Medbeds. They know that. They know that. The channel owner knows that, and they know that everybody's desperate for Medbed information. Everybody's feeling ill. Everybody knows someone who's ill. Everybody in that group is desperate. So what do? They get a third party, which doesn't look like it's connected to the Telegram channel owner in any way. Although it is, there's not going to be any, it's not going to show that way. To contact, to send out DMs to everybody. It's all done automatically. Send a DM out to everybody in the group. And in that DM, it will say something like, hi, I understand that you're interested in Medbeds. Great news. We've got the Medbed registration centres are open, and here are the links or the telephone numbers for all the centres worldwide. And this is what's going on. So you'll see that, and you'll scroll down to your particular country, your particular area. And you'll say, wow, there's a Medbed centre. So what you will do is you will then phone the number. Now the person on the other end of the phone number will be an actor. He'll be a scammer as well. Just like in these scammer call centres that scam people out their credit cards and all this kind of thing. And they will have a script, and they will say, hey, this is the Medbed Centre, would you like to register? Blah, blah, blah. And you will say yes, because you're desperate for the information. You've got this message saying that there's a number for a Medbed Centre. And they will give you this story, and they will say, yes, it's all free. We've got Medbed centres here, we'd like to register, and you'll probably give them more details like your phone number, your email address, and they will suddenly have all your personal information. And they will say something like, okay, we'll call you back when the centre's got a space for you, something like this. And then they will send you another DM maybe a week or two later, and they will say, great news, we've got some space for you, you're on the list. But the unfortunate thing is we can't do it free at the moment because there's so much demand and the staff need paying. Now, you're going to be disappointed that it's not free anymore, but because you're desperate and because you've trusted the whole process, you've been listening to the YouTuber for a couple of months, maybe even a year or so, and that's, and that YouTuber has been given information about Medbed centres as well. You think the whole thing is legit. And what do? You're going to hand over the money because they're now saying you need to pay for it. And you're going to hand over $500, $1,000. And what's going to happen then, because there are no spaces, there's no Medbed centres. What's going to happen is they're going to say, thank you for the money, and we'll be in touch soon. And obviously, you're not going to hear back from them. Or there's going to be some automated email sequence that will come up, which will just drag you along and along and along, will say things like, I'm sorry, your appointment's been postponed, or something like this. Okay, this is what is going on big time. And there are a couple of people who are putting out information on Medbeds who I am absolutely convinced are involved in this scam. And they are taking advantage of people, vulnerable people who are ill and who are looking for answers and who are needing medical help. That's how the scam works. I'm sure there's other kind of scams, but this is the scam that's been brought to my attention. That's what I wanted to do today, to bring this to your attention. If you're listening to any YouTuber who's going on and on about Medbeds all the time, answering the same old questions over and over again, interspersed with stories about their lives to try to endear themselves to you, walk away from that. Walk away from that. Especially if you're in their Telegram group. Get out of that Telegram group. At the very least, go to your settings in Telegram and adjust the settings there to make sure that no one can DM you in groups. Okay, do that, because that is going to save you from getting scammed like this. Anybody can get scammed, and these people are very, very plausible. Okay, I'm going to do another video on this in the future. So I think it's so important, but I wanted to get this out here now. Hopefully you won't get scammed. Hopefully I can reach a lot of people to make them aware of what is going on with this, because we didn't see this at first. We were watching some of these people. We were trying to ask ourselves, well, how are they affording to do so many videos? Someone must be paying them. They can't be sitting there all the time just doing videos all day long. They must be earning some money somehow. They didn't appear to be selling anything, or very little anyway. And that made us very, very suspicious. So we thought, I think something is going on behind the scenes. And then when we looked a bit closer, we saw that a lot of people were complaining about being ripped off and scammed for up to $1,000 a time, on the premise that they've been given some phone number for some Medbed centre, a registration centre, and then when they phone these centres, either their numbers didn't exist, or usually there was someone on the other end of the line, but that guy or girl was a paid scripted actor and didn't work for any Medbed centre, but was pretending to. And then they went through the script in order to get money out of people, because they knew people were desperate. Okay, that's the end here. I will talk about this more in another video, but that's it for today. I hope this has been immensely helpful to you, and hopefully you won't get scammed in the same way that these other people have unfortunately been scammed. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.